good to see you again. Last time on Godot. Wait, like Godot is a TV show. It is now. Last time on Godot, we made this mushroom, and right now, pretty much all it does is print this to the console. That's fine. I want it to take away the ball's health every time the ball hits it. We could make it so that the level just starts over like we did with the off-table detector. If that's what you want, you kind of don't need me. You just need to change the mushroom code to the get tree change scene. You have that code. You can look that answer up. But I want to make it take away health. But we need health. The player has no idea that health is even here, so we have to communicate that to them. Let's set that up first in the canvas layer. I'm going to, with canvas layer highlighted, make a VBox container. And I'm going to set the score label as a child of the VBox container. That's going to move him up there. We can address that in a moment. Now, with VBox container highlighted, I'm going to add an HBox container. If you're like a what box container, there is a pretty good explanation of this in the board game tutorial. If you're going, bleh. But basically the VBox container stacks stuff and the HBox container makes it line up horizontally. I am going to highlight the score label and I'm going to hit Control D to duplicate it. Now this score label 2 is going to become a child of HBox container. With me so far? I'm going to rename score label to health label. And honestly, over here in the inspector, I'm going to hit this little swirly. I'm going to take the script off. Now let's make this text say health. Whoop. Looks like we're doing all caps. Health and a space. I don't like them crammed together like that. I like the VBox container and there should be a separation. Yeah, in theme overrides constant separation. Check that box. It'll look like doo-doo. What do we want? Do we want 10? Do we want 15? I want... Yeah, okay. Mine's 25. You set it to what you like. There are maybe as many ways to do a health bar as there are videos on YouTube. This is the one that I like right now. I'll probably like something different next month. But with HBox container highlighted, Control A and make yourself a texture rect. Right there. Doesn't have a texture yet, so let's fix that. I have given you, if you check the description, heart.png. This isn't anything special. You could use your own heart, you could use dots, you could use anything, really. I'm going to drag it over. Oh, and it looks like trash. First thing to notice, see how blurry it is? I have texture rect highlighted, I have heart.png highlighted. I'm going to come over here to where it says texture under canvas item, and I'm going to change the filter to nearest. Now it at least looks like pixel art. Still looks like doo-doo pixel art because it's so squished. Play with the expand mode because I feel like it changes all the time. I'm going to set it to fit width proportional, and I'm going to keep the stretch mode at scale. Now it looks like a heart. I'm going to rename this. I've got it highlighted. I'm going to hit F2 and I'm going to rename it HEART. Now I'm going to duplicate it and my ball has 3 hearts. Pretty much what we're going to do is every time we lose a heart, we're just going to set it to invisible. If we want the player to gain a heart, set it to visible. Make sense? At this point, the process is pretty much the same as the coin. The coin, when it gets hit, all it does is emit a signal, right? Well, it plays an animation, but it emits a signal, and then the score label grabs that signal. It adds a point, and then it changes itself. You could actually set this up without me. Some of you could, I'm pretty sure. but I am here right now. So I'm going to do it. If you would like to do it along with me, great. I think that's wonderful. If you're like, I want to try it by myself, this would actually be a pretty good time to hit pause on the video, see if you can try it. But I'm going to go on. I'm going to go to the mushroom scene. I'm going to go to the mushroom script. This is what we want to change. Instead of this print statement, cringe, get rid of that. Pass for right now so it doesn't yell at me. We do need a signal. Signal, I'm going to call it hit a mushroom. And this does need to be emit. Hit. Yep, dot emit. Nailed it. Okay. The code for the health label is so similar to what we do to the score label. We could copy paste this and change all the stuff. Usually when you code, you don't want to copy paste. You want to make it so that the code is modular. But in this case, everything that we're doing is different enough to where I feel like we can get away with this. I think it's all going to be okay. So I'm going to copy scorelabel.gd. And over here on health label, I'm going to scroll all the way down. Remember where I emptied out that script? I'm going to add a new one, healthlabel.gd. Create, love it. Hi, sorry about that strange cut. I got a bug that was kind of funky, and I got it in my reference project too. And if you get it, let's figure it out. Let's walk through it. In my score label, for some reason, when I start copy pasting, I start getting this cannot call method get children on a null value because it can't find coins. Usually what that means is it just cannot follow this little path, but I'm like, you made the path yourself, bro. I don't know what you want. So there's two ways to do this. There's two ways to fix it. One, oh God, one, hit stop. One, make sure you've right-clicked and hit editable children. I think my children became an editable. Wild. And then it's going to be the same ordeal. Find coins, drag it in, hold control, drop. Now it should work. Right? The other way to solve this, and let me solve this in healthlabel.gd. Get rid of this. I'm going to export var mushrooms. And it's going to be of a type node 3D. And as soon as I hit save on the health label, see where it's like, can you assign me the node, please? I would love to assign you the node, please. Just drag it in. Both of those should fix it. Personally, I feel like the export is a little bit more secure, but I don't know. Do the one you like. All right. Last time before my entire project broke before my eyes, we had this code from the score label and we were converting it to health label stuff, right? So coins children doesn't exist anymore. Let's make it mushroom children. Mushrooms children, mushroom children. Get the children of mushrooms. That way, if we want to add more mushrooms, we can, and it's not a big deal. Okay, for I in still needs to be mushrooms. Still needs to be mushroom. Thank you, autocorrect. You know me. You have me. That signal is hit a mushroom. It's no longer score a point. You do not want this connected to score a point. So hit a mushroom.connect, and I want you to connect to hit a mushroom. We could call the function whatever, I suppose, but this makes the most sense to me. Not declared in the current scope. It's okay. I've got you. Hit a mushroom. Okay, so we hit a mushroom and we're not going to score. Let's just take this out. I hit pass just so it doesn't fuss at me. So we need to look at each one of these hearts and figure out if it should be on or off, right? Let me show you a trick, and I'm actually kind of surprised that this works. I have highlighted VBox container. I'm going to hit plus, and I'm going to throw down just a regular node. You'd think you'd throw down a control node, but the way Godot's control system works, it would probably be trying to find the size of the control node. We don't want that. We just want this. I messed up. It should be a child of the HBox container. We want it to look like this. And I'm going to call this bad boy hearts. And I'm going to make all of my hearts a child of hearts. Back in healthlabel.gd, now if we want to talk to all of the hearts, it's the same trick. Let's declare everything though. Whoop, we don't need a score. I think we can just drag this in and not break anything. Drag, control, drop. That looks right. So we've got that node. We need something to store its children in. Var, we'll just call it hearts, children. Cool. And we've kind of neglected up into this point. We need health. Health, I do not see a reason for health to be anything other than an integer. You're not going to have 3.5 health. Let's set it to 3 as a default. So, let's fill up hearts, children. Hello, children equals just hearts dot get children. Could I have declared each one of these individually? Yep, sure could have. One, this system allows for, what if you have a power-up that gives your ball extra hearts? And he can increase, like in Breath of the Wild, he can increase his health. This just makes that work a lot faster and slicker. It's also, when we get down here, if everything's in an array, it's going to make everything work a lot better. I'll just show you. I'm going to keep this point variable right here. Health. Okay, if we got hit, health should probably equal health plus point. So we're going to send in an amount to increase or decrease the health by, and then we're going to do it in this line. So let's go over this array and turn the blinky eyes on or off. So sounds like a for loop situation. For I in hearts children dot size, which you and I know right now that it's 3, but it could be more, could be less. Let me type all this out first, and then I'm going to explain it. Hearts, children, I dot visible. Sure. Else, hearts, children, I visible false. All right. So you and I know that there's 3 nodes in this array. So for I in 3, if I is less than health, so it's going to start and it's going to say 1. If 1 is less than, well, if 1 is less than 3, which it is, set 1, so set this little guy to visible, else skip it, who cares? Let's pretend that this is set to 2. So if 2 is less than 3, which it is, set this little guy to visible. Love that. If 3 is less than 3, and that's false. So it's going to skip right over that line and it's going to come to here. One final problem. The mushroom isn't actually sending out how much to hit the guy for. So go to mushroom.gd. You can Just admit -1 and live a long life. Boo. You know I hate hard-coded numbers. Boo. Export. Var. Hit. And there's two ways to do this. Hit amount. And it is an int. And I'm going to default it to -1. And then we can just do hit amount. The other way to do this, default it to 1 and send through negative hit amount. It's whatever makes more sense to your brain. So what should happen is this should send a -1 over here to the health label when the mushroom gets whacked. And the health label is going to go, oh, sick. Okay, and it's going to set part 3 to invisible. Okay, sorry. One last thing. We're about to start it up and watch it work. If you find that you start with one less heart than what you're expecting, move your mushroom up. You can have it just like barely above the table as a treat. So if you start it up and you only have 2 hearts, that's the problem. Move your mushroom up. Now we have 3 hearts, so my mushroom's in the right spot. Bam. The score works, the mushroom works. Want to see if we can get rid of another heart? Come on. Aha! Now, as of right now, we don't have any code to handle, like, we have no health. What if we put that in next time? Speaking of next time, I will see you next week. You have an excellent time, take it easy, and make games. See you later. Hey, real quick before you scoot, I am on buymeacoffee.com. It's kind of like Ko-Fi and Patreon together. If you found this video helpful or useful, I would appreciate you coming over here and checking this out. If you are willing or able, you can donate on this page.